Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in for another Monday Night Raw recap as we are the close home show or the go home show for SummerSlam this upcoming weekend. And don't worry, guys, I would be doing a Saturday Night 1 and Night 2 preview for the first ever night, 2-night SummerSlam. But let's just get right into things that happen on Monday Night Raw. And of course, they kick off Raw with the tribute to the late Hulk Hogan. I'm not going to speak too much on that. I already did a video and I did a last night or SmackDown last week's to give my thoughts on that, but rest in peace to Hulk Hogan. Then we get the show where Jey Uso makes his entrance. Before he even gets a word in, Paul Heyman comes out and basically Paul Heyman is basically saying, family, he's gonna screw you. Family is gonna cost you. Family is not what you think it is. And he's talking about the past where Roman and didn't leave him as the next kind of tribal chief and heir. He put that on Solo. And he's basically trying to create some dissension from between Roman and Jey Uso before SummerSlam. He's trying to basically put some thoughts into Jey Uso's head. But one thing I will admit, one thing I will say, damn, Paul Heyman knows how to get people interested in the match. Damn, that man knows how to cut a damn promo. It's like things you may not be as interested in or you trying to look for something to get interested in. Paul Heyman will be a guy that's going to get you interested in it. The man knows how to cut a goddamn promo. Man, he knows how to sell you on a match. Whether it's for a title or whether it's just one of those rivalry things, he knows how to sell a damn promo. To sell a match. Because, man, I am more interested in this match than I probably was before, even though I'm a big Roman fan anyway. I'm a big Jey Uso fan anyway, and I'm liking what Bron Breakker has the potential to be, and I like Bronson Reed. I do. But let's move on to the next match, the actual first match we get of the night, as AJ Styles and the Kabuki Warriors in a mixed tag team match take on the Judgment Day. I almost said Rhea. Roxanne, Raquel, and Dom Mysterio heading into their matches at SummerSlam, and well, not the Kabuki Warriors, but heading into AJ versus Dom and then the Raquel and Roxanne tag match. Man, this was a solid match, and like I always say, what is a Judgment Day match without shenanigans? What is a Judgment Day match without it? Because it's almost script. Judgment Day match equals shenanigans. There's rarely that you're gonna have straight on matches when it comes to the Judgment Day. And despite all of the shenanigans, despite Dom trying to still run from AJ, despite Roxanne and Raquel attacking Asuka and Kairi Sane, very solid match, but AJ Styles ends up pinning Dom to pick up the win for his team and the Kabuki Warriors, leading up to SummerSlam. And like I said, I'll get into more SummerSlam when I do my preview later on this week. But then we have Sheamus and Grayson Waller backstage having a conversation, which ends up leading to the match between Sheamus and Grayson Waller that happened. And overall, it was one of those matches that is a typical solid match, but you just knew at some point Rusev was going to show up. Rusev interferes, but it doesn't do enough as Sheamus hits Grayson Waller with the bro kick to pick up the win, and then Rusev immediately attacks Sheamus afterwards. I'm not going to lie to you. I was hoping this rivalry kind of concluded at SummerSlam. I was hoping we got a SummerSlam match between these two, and it'd have been Rusev's first PLE match since returning to WWE. It was all shaping up. I thought I was hoping, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to say I expected it to be on there, but I kind of was hoping that the trilogy, the pin and the payoff for this match would happen at a PLE at SummerSlam, but unfortunately, that is not the case. As Rusev later on in the show said, it's going to happen next Monday Night Raw. So disappointed for me a little bit, I'm not going to lie. I was hoping this was a SummerSlam match. It had the potential to be that if they would have built this a little more or did a little bit more behind it to get more of a purpose for having this at SummerSlam, having a payoff match with a stipulation or a payoff match with something, but sucks that it's not at SummerSlam for me, but I digress. Then we have Naomi interview backstage talking about Rhea and Io and how she's going to come out of SummerSlam still the women's world champion. And I will be honest, God, I love Naomi's heel run. I absolutely love her as a heel. Her as a babyface, it had a shelf life. It started to have a shelf life. I'm glad that Naomi is a heel. That way, we can still proceed with caution. I love it. I'm not going to lie. I love it. Then we have the New Day promo where they talking about they're not in the match for these tag team titles later on in the night. Everyone should thank God for the New Day. And honestly, New Day's heel run is kind of flopped. I wish they would have been kind of done a little bit more with them, put them in more PLE matches besides WrestleMania. But I digress. Then we have Bronson, Reed, and Bron Breakker backstage with Paul Heyman. And basically, they're coming up with a plan for later on tonight. When they're talking about destruction, they're talking about later on tonight. Then we get Lyra Valkyria with a promo on Becky. And Becky gets to the ring. And Lyra's talking about how she wants to be the first ever two-time Women's Intercontinental title. I'm interested in this match anyway. It's no rules. And this ties into Bayley's interview. I have a feeling, but I'll talk about this later. Actually, I'll wait till SummerSlam. You got to stay tuned for that. But either way it goes, Lyra is basically talking about how she can't challenge for the title if she loses. And she's basically saying, hey, Becky wants to be me, I won't be standing. She had to do it over her dead body and for her to lose to Becky. I'm going to see where this is going to go, but I'll talk about that, like I said, more on my SummerSlam preview later in the week as Becky Lynch, music's hit, but she comes from behind. Lyra senses it, attacks, and basically wears on her with a kendo stick. And I might have been the only one that noticed this. Lyra was not holding the kendo stick by the white tape on the handle. She was actually whipping her on the opposite end. I thought I might have been the only one that noticed this. You guys let me know in the comments if you did. The little thing, I kind of noticed that. But either way it goes, she sends Becky on her way packing, and Becky retreats. I ain't gonna lie, I can't wait for that match. I can't wait for that match. Things are gonna happen. That's all I'm gonna say. Then we have Naomi. Actually, I take that back. We have Sami Zayn with an interview with Corey Graves, only to be interrupted by Karrion Kross. And this is interesting that this match is going to be on SummerSlam, but not Rusev versus Sheamus, even though more of a story has been told. And this has already been a PLE match when we're talking about Night of Champions with Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. Like I said, this match, the Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross match, to me, it could have a lot riding on it, depending on how they tell that story. But it's basically saying, Karrion Kross is basically saying, I wish I could have, I want to hit you with the steel pole right across your ribs right now. And Sami is going to say, and Sami's basically saying, I want the world championship, but you're in my way. I can't get to the world title if I have to keep dealing with you. So I'm willing to see, I'm very interested to see where the payoff is going to be for this match. Then we get Naomi, Chelsea Green, and the Sacred Hervers taking on Stephanie Vaquer, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Nikki Bella. And this match, there was a lot going on. It was a lot going on, whether we're talking about Naomi attacking Rhea, trying to get that Rhea and Io. And the Secret Herbert's trying to get at Nikki and Stephanie. Then we had Piper Niven getting into it with Rhea. This match was a lot all over the place. A really solid match. I think a very solid match, which ends up Stephanie hitting the SBV on Chelsea Green to pick up the win. And that, like I said, it was a very solid match. Leading up into matches at the triple threat match for the women's world title at SummerSlam, I still think it could have been a Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella and a Secret Herberts or something, a 3-on-2 or something at SummerSlam. But like I said, you don't want to not like I said, but you don't want to overlap the card. But I was hoping Stephanie had something to do at SummerSlam. With the way they've been pushing her and the way that she is one of the top wrestlers, I think, in the women's wrestlers in the world, I really thought that they were going to push her to have a SummerSlam match to get her on that type of platform. But I digress. Then we have Rhea and Io backstage. It's like, yeah, we might be friends tonight, but Rhea's talking to Io. We might be friends tonight, but SummerSlam, finally gonna get your number. It's Io basically saying, you've never beat me, and you never will. I can't wait for that match. Then you have the LWO versus the Judgment Day for the World Tag Team titles. And it was a very good match. I'm not gonna lie. The LWO, I came into this match, I kind of knew they weren't going to win, especially at the match right before SummerSlam. I'm kind of still disappointed that they didn't put at least these tag team titles, but we already got a big tag team title match for SummerSlam on SmackDown. But this was a very solid match. The biggest spot was, I think it was Del Toro. I always get them two mixed up because they don't be on TV a lot. But when he jumped, he did basically the Shane McMahon coast to coast. That was freaking amazing when he hit that. And it was a moment where it was like, oh my God, they might have to could they pull it off and give it to the LWO? But El Grande Americano shows his ugly head as he's been having an issue with the Judgment Day. Oh, not the Judgment Day, the LWO. And Dragon Lee comes out and makes the save. And it was a second El Grande Americano-esque guy that came out. I'm interested to see the identity behind that. I know the internet is going to figure it out at some point, so I'll be looking for that. I wondered what the internet is going to figure out. I haven't seen anything on it yet. Of course, I was watching the show. I haven't really looked online to see anything that was going on with it, but I'm interested to see who the guy was. But he ended up costing the LWO the match. And the Judgment Day end up retaining their tag team titles. Like I said, the Rusev interview happened. I mentioned that earlier. Then we have Gunther coming out and cutting a promo on CM Punk as basically he's saying how he made CM Punk shut up. How he shut up possibly the best in the world on the mic and the best in the world. He said what he said to shut CM Punk up and basically saying, yeah, you think y'all guys thinking he's the greatest on the mic? I shut him up. Only for CM Punk to come out and say, you didn't shut me up. I was kind of perplexed. I was kind of taken aback. But he was basically saying how he doesn't want to be world champion. He needs to be world champion. And spoiler alert, this is who I'm rooting for. Spoiler alert. But CM Punk basically is saying, I'll see you at SummerSlam. I will beat you. I need to be world champion. I need to give these people validation for calling my name and chanting my name over these last 10 years, which people have. Ever since he left WWE for the first go around, his name has been chanted a lot at events. A lot. And there's been things where WWE was kind of mocked him and played his music and we knew he wasn't coming out. But I cannot wait for this match as well for Saturday. This is a Saturday match. Then we get the main event, Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed again. And it seems like for the umpteenth time, those two are going one-on-one. Or maybe it's just me noticing that they put these two on one-on-one matches a ton. And I mean a ton of one-on-one matches between these two. And we knew we were waiting on the chaos to happen at this point. As, like I said, very solid match. We just knew something was going to happen, and Braun Breaker comes out and gets to Jey Uso to cause another disqualification, as the last match, if you don't recall, between these two ended in another disqualification with Bronson Reed threw the announcing chair at Jey Uso, only for my tribal chief Roman Reigns to come out and make the save, get the upper hand, only when they were out the ring doing a double spear. The Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker got the upper hand, and God, I never want to take a Braun Breaker spear. I'm sorry, I never want to take one of those. It look like he be killing people. Ask Carlito. Ask I Show Speed. It basically looks like he's killing people at this point. But either way it goes, it's basically pure domination from here on out, as Bronson Reed hit tsunamis not only on Jey Uso, but also on Roman Reigns. Braun Breaker hit the ring rope move on the announce desk as Roman Reigns and Jey Uso are outside the ring. Braun Breaker does his run and hits both of them with the spear into the barricade. And I don't know if this is crazy. Why in the hell did Bronson Reed steal Roman Reigns' Jordans? What is this, Compton? What is this, the west side of Chicago? I mean, that was a little bit funny to me. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Well, I'm like, why is he going for the shoes? Ends up taking the damn shoes. I'm looking like, what the hell is going on with, like, this west side of Chicago ass shit? This damn Compton shit. I was like, what a way to end the match, and he starts hitting the shoes. I'm like, what's next? You gonna put them on a power line? And some people know where I'm referencing when I'm talking about putting shoes, hanging shoes on a power line. Only a few people, if you know, you know. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But this was a good, solid closing Raw as we head into SummerSlam. I know I've been talking for a little bit too long, but this is a good closeout show. It gives me more interest in a lot of the matches. So I'll give this a good solid 7.5 out of 10 for a show. Promos were good. The matches were leading matches that kind of led up into SummerSlam and came to give you a little bit more interested. So, and then the tag team match was actually a lot better than what I thought. I mean, the tag team title match was a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. Told more of a story on that. I don't think we're going to get a tag team title for that at SummerSlam. I think the card is basically already set for both nights. So I'm interested to see where they're going to go with that. But I don't want to make this too much longer. You guys leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave this video a like. Comment your thoughts. Share. Subscribe. And click the notification bell so you will not miss anything I post. Football season's right around the corner. SummerSlam is this weekend. So more content coming. So I'm going to sign out now, APW Sports. Have a great next day. Good Raw, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.